Here we go, Maple. Don't know about you, but I'm very curious to see what the woolly glove, what idea that has given Al. So let's find out. Chapter 39. Try as I might, I just can't find the appetite for fish and chips because I have to get back to the bunker without Grandpa Byron and rescue Alan Shearer. And Grandpa Byron has noticed a change in my behaviour. I can just tell that. Still, time to put the plan into action. I pull my remaining glove from my pocket and pretend to look for the other one. I've lost my other glove, I say. Then, I think I know where. I think I dropped it outside our old house. Don't worry, says Grandpa Byron. We'll go past on the way back and pick it up. But by then I'm halfway to the door. Don't worry, it's not far. I'll go and get it. And I'm out of the door while Grandpa Byron's saying, But Al, your fish and chips. It really isn't far to our old house from the fish and chip shop. Maybe half a mile, maybe even less. But I sprint all the way and I'm wheezing and quite lightheaded by the time I get there. So long as I can get there without being detected and get down into the bunker and grab Alan Shearer, I'll be back in a few minutes, no sweat. Fine. I take a deep breath, look up and down the street and cross the road and up the driveway of my old house. And as I slip through the broken garage door, I catch a glimpse of a silver Skoda coming round the corner and up the road. No chance of moving slowly and silently now. Like I'm demented, I fling off the planks covering the steps. I'm turning the wheel that opens the steel bunker door as I hear the Skoda's engine coming up the driveway and the driver's door opening. I'm closing the steel door behind me when I hear the garage door scrape up and a muffled man's voice mutters, Flippin' heck. Then, Bella, have you seen this? Have you been in here? Inside the bunker, I switch on the light. There's no sign of Alan Shearer, but I haven't got time to look properly because the man's footsteps are coming down the little stairway towards the bunker door. Oh, my word, Graham, says the lady I was talking to before. Someone's been here. I know what's coming next, so I grab my side of the metal wheel that opens the steel door and hold it as tight as I can when the man tries to turn it. It's stuck, he says, but gives another tug to try it. My arms are aching. I need something to lever it open. His footsteps are retreating again, but I know I'll be no match in strength when he comes back with something to force the door, and I can hear him poking around in the garage. I'm trapped. I scan my eyes all around the bunker, desperately looking for a hiding place. Under the bed? Too obvious. Behind the door? Not enough room. There is one escape route though. Releasing the handle, I dash down the steps to the laptop and turn it on. Come on. I'm muttering at the screen as it goes through its startup stuff. There's a broom in the corner of the bunker and I grab it and shove it through the spokes of the wheel handle. It will buy me a few extra moments. I can hear the guy coming back across the garage floor. This'll shift it, he says to his wife. I'm in the tub and typing in the password now. The lean, mean, green machine. I'm waiting again for the program to load. When it does, I type in the letters copied from the top of the black box. Oh, here we go, Maple. WMAGGGG WVE75 G5EHGL2CWG. Then the time and coordinates like before, and I wait. Nothing happens. I can hear Graham at the door and he's trying to get in, and the time machine's not working, and I'm hitting the enter button again and again. But all that happens is nothing. I'm going to be caught. Chapter 40. Then something unexpected happens and I am overcome with cold. Although I can hear Graham rattling the door and scuffling outside, there is not one single bit of me, not an atom, that is even panicking. My breathing steadies and I hear my dad's voice as if he's right next to me. I even turn my head slightly, in a reflex, to where I hear it. But of course, it's all in my imagination. The only noise is the creaking of the wooden broomstick as it resists Graham's assault. It's suddenly clear to me exactly what I have done wrong. The words Dad wrote came back to me. The laws of space-time seem to be beautifully arranged to prevent such chaos. I cannot go back to the same place and time that I was before. It has already been occupied, is already occupied by me. With my fingers hitting the keys noisily, I retype the coordinates, altering the time to an hour later in the day, and two things happen simultaneously. One, I hear a crunch as the broomstick bends and snaps, but the remaining pieces are still holding the door shut. Only just though. Two, I see Alan Shearer scampering across the floor of the bunker. Without even thinking, I leap out of the tub, kicking the swivel chair aside to scoop him up. I shove him in my pocket, grab the laptop and the hand grips, and get back into the zinc tub. Did you hear that, Bella? I reckon there's someone down there. The pieces of broomstick finally give up and fall to the floor. The wheel is turning when I press enter, and the room goes blurry. I can't leave it there. Maybe I just can't. Chapter 41. In case you were wondering, I don't know much about the theory of time travel or the rules or what you can and can't do. I don't think anyone does really. I've heard of the grandfather paradox, which says that if you go back in time, and murder your own grandfather, nice, then you cease to exist, supposedly because if he's dead, he will not be your dad's dad, and he in turn will not have fathered you. And I know about Dad's law of doppelgangers because he told me about it. But I don't know much else apart from watching bits of Star Trek and Doctor Who, and in those it seems like anything goes, which is handy for the writers, I suppose, but doesn't help me much at all. And besides, who invented these rules? So far as I can tell, it's all theory. No one has tested anything. Although it seems as though Dad's law of doppelgangers is holding up pretty well to real-life experimentation. So I don't know what to expect. I just know I'm relieved as anything when the haziness in my eyes clears and I'm still in the bunker, but there's no man trying to get in. I get out of the tub and sit in the desk chair just for a minute, letting Alan Shearer run over my hands. He seems pleased to see me at least. I pop him in a drawer under the bunk bed while I work out what to do next. What has happened with that man Graham? He will have entered the bunker and he will have seen that the light was on and the swivel chair was turning around, but nobody there at all. How spooky will that have been? Of course, the sensible thing to do, now that I've got Alan Shearer, would be to head straight back to what I have begun to think of as real time and Grandpa Byron, who is waiting in the cafe. After all, if I don't come back straight away, he'll start to get worried and probably come looking for me. Trouble is, of course, I can't. Graham is waiting there. It's like I'm trapped in a sort of time cupboard in the garage. As soon as I come out, Graham will see me. My first thought is to set the return time to the present to just a minute before I reach my old house, coming from the fish and chip shop. But that is a direct violation of Dad's law of doppelgangers. If it was possible, I would bump into myself heading into the garage. And as I have just discovered, the time machine will not permit that. The other option is to set the return time to a little later, say 20 minutes, and hope that by then Graham and Bella have stopped stalking the garage looking for an intruder. Except that wouldn't work either. The pesky doppelganger thing means that I, or a version of me, am already there. I admit it, I'm stumped. Sometimes, though, when you have to think of an answer but none will come, you just need a little time. Meanwhile, I can't resist taking another look at 1984. I come out of the cellar and into the daylight again. It's still Radio 1 playing and the same presenter, and I can hear him say, It's 11:23 here on Radio 1, and this is Cyndi Lauper with Time After Time. I used to have that song. In the garage, everything is the same, but there's no sign of little Stoko or his mum. Outside, I feel even more nervous than the last time I was here, as if someone might recognise me. Daft, I know. That's exactly how it feels. And here comes not all that old Mr. Fraser, walking in the other direction this time, away from his home. I decide to try something. Excuse me, I say. What year is it, please? He glances down at me, but he barely even stops. Get away with you, he says without removing the pipe from between his teeth. You are cheeky, and he strides on past. Strange, I'm thinking. But then I'm dressed differently from last time. I think I phrased the question differently last time too. Sunday best polite, and so he reacted differently. I carry on down the alleyway thinking about the last time. Did it exist? It did for me, but did it for Mr. Fraser? Was he rude to me because I had already asked him the same question an hour ago? Or am I in a completely different 1984? And as if that lot wasn't enough to make my head spin as I carry on walking down the alleyway, what happens next puts it in actual danger of just going like boom. I meet my dad. Oh my goodness. Well, we have to stop there because that's quite a long one, but I will get ready to record the next chapter, which I think is going to be thrilling. Okay, Maple, hope you enjoyed that. Take care. Speak to you again soon. Bye.